Good evening and welcome to my podcast. I'm Bob Pace. I'm your host of the podcast called Fight CPS Save Our Children. Now, this podcast is interactive, meaning that you can participate with the podcast one of several ways. The first way is to text a message to me about your CPS case. And for some of you that do not know what CPS stands for, I call it the Child Protection System. And every state has an agency. It's a branch of social services. It may have different acronyms, but it all pertains to the protecting our children from neglect and abuse and family reunification. So you can text in a question about CPS, your case, or something else. All I ask is you have your name and the city and the state, or if you're not from the United States, you're from outside a country, because this podcast is gone internationally. People go to Facebook, look up Fight CPS. And so I've had Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, Ghana, which is in South America, north of Brazil, south of Venezuela. And I've had Mexico and Mozambique over in Africa, near Somalia on the east side of Africa, and Denmark. And so I do have people that talk about their CPS in their country too. I've talked to over 500 some people from around the U.S., all the 50 states, and it seems like they have one thing in common. They're not getting their children back. And their children are taken, either they're not in immediate danger. And one of the reasons why this rampage is at me personally, I've been involved in CPS, and they're trafficking our children, and they are alienating our children and put them into foster care to be adopted in the foster care system. It's a terrible experience. Oh, good. We have my co-host. I'm glad she's come on.
Yeah, just 1 second, Bob, right quick.
Take your time. Take your time. I'm just going over the rules here. So besides texting, you can also call in at 626-698-0990. And you can actually talk live on my speakerphone. You won't be on camera, but you can be on the show and you can talk with us. I have Danielle, who's from Georgia. I'm from California. And we're co-hosting this show tonight. So all you need to do is call 626-698-0990. The third way is you could schedule a time to be on the show as a guest. All you need to do is email my producer, Grace, at vincentwdavis.com. That's Grace at vincentwdavis.com. So those are the three ways that you can interact with this podcast. And Danielle and I are loving people. I'm a husband and a father of 6. And we care about all of you. And today is awful special. It's Mother's Day. For all of you that are mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. And I know it's hard for many of you because right now you're not with your children on Mother's Day. This is one of the sadness about that. Looks like we got our first guest speaker. Who is this I'm talking to?
Hello?
Hello, who's this I'm talking to? This is Bob Pace.
This is Faye.
Oh, hey, Faye.
From Richmond, Kentucky.
I'm sorry, what, Faye?
From Richmond, Kentucky.
I know who you are, Faye. both
I wasn't,
Danielle. We've
I
been
wasn't
worried
sure
to
if you knew who
death.
I was. This is a different number, so.
Oh, it is okay. I've been so worried about two reasons. One, you being terribly sick, and also about you being stalked by the police in Richmond, Kentucky.
What she was telling us the other night in the.
Yeah, we've been going through some problems with the police, and it's just been here recent that it's gotten pretty bad. And I think it's because I've been so outspoken against them for the last few months. And then also, I've took a real bad turn with my health. So
Oh no!
I'm just trying to get better.
Well, you sound good. I recognize that voice, Faye.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what's your health situation? Is something that is getting better, or is it still about the same, or?
Can it?
Well, I don't know if it's getting any better. I've been sick. I got sick last year around December. Well, it was November, actually. Got sick around November. I got sick with COVID twice. And then I got over COVID, and I got hit with RSV right after having COVID.
What is RSV? What's RSV?
That's respiratory.
It is respiratory syncytial virus.
Yeah, and it's something like
what babies get, but adults can get it too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I heard that COVID is getting where that the vaccines aren't even it's getting worse, like just the COVID period.
Well, the vaccines weren't a cure for COVID. I think the vaccines were given to you so in case you got COVID, it wouldn't be so hard on you.
Yeah. It's like it's able to.
I can't take vaccines.
Yeah.
I wish I could, but I can't.
Okay.
I've had real bad adverse reactions to them, so I can't really take them.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, Faye, what would you like to talk about? By the way, happy Mother's Day to you personally.
Happy Mother's Day, yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you both.
Yep.
You too. Hope you all had a good one.
Well, yeah. My mother has passed away, and my wife, we're trying to take her out after the show tonight to a place called Taco Surf.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It will be. We, thanks to my youngest son, my youngest of my 6 children, he's going to make it happen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's
awesome. That sounds great.
So what can we do for you? What can we help you with?
Well, I don't really have a case or anything. But what I would like to mention, with this police stalking stuff, is how this works with CPS. Is if you're lucky enough to get a child back from them, and that child becomes an adult, and if you are like me and you want to speak out about what was done to your family and continue to still fight for your other child, and also bring awareness to the corruption that they're doing in my state, plus trying to reach out to legislators to change some of the laws here, that gets you put on the radar.
Yes, she's correct.
And then CPS uses the police to try every way they can to get my oldest child, which is now an adult, which is 22, put into the system, in the criminal justice system.
Well, wait a second. Now, can I stop there for a second, Faye and Danielle? Let me think about this. You have a 22-year-old adult child. Does he have special needs?
He has autism.
Right. Have you thought about adopting him like Danielle is with her son?
Guardianship.
I couldn't hear you.
Okay,
adult
Danielle
guardianship
is adopting her son who has special needs as an adult. Have you thought about the same thing? Be it a caregiver of your son?
Do y'all have adult guardianship over him?
I have guardianship of my son. He came back to me, as a child.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have adult guardianship. So how are they trying to get him involved in the criminal part?
Just petty stuff. It sounds like they're just being petty.
That's what they do. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get him put into the criminal justice system and then take over from there and take him
And
away.
that's their way of trying to get him back in the system, and they're gonna try it. It's petty stuff that they're doing, and it's like childish games, and it's crazy. And I know exactly what she is, because I've that's what I mean. I've always been. I know exactly where she's coming from with that, and that's crazy. And it's because she is reaching out and sharing her experiences and bringing awareness to this. And it's sad that these people would do this. So so it carries on even as your child. If you have a special needs child, it carries on as an adult as well. That it's like it. I mean, because I mean, Faye, it's like the once they get 18, it's like they want to affect or like start going against the ones after the ones that are adults that are disabled in a way. It's like because then that's where
Well,
APS
have you tried to talk to go ahead, Faye, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're okay. Go ahead.
Have you
okay?
tried
Are you
to
okay?
talk
Is she okay?
to your representatives? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've done that, but here's the thing: how Kentucky works.
Uh-huh.
We have representatives here, senators, representatives here, but they can only do so much because they also get retaliation from both ends, from the cabinet and also from their own parties. They get retaliation.
Right. And that's that. She's correct. Yes. And so they really it's like self has to look out for self. And I mean, are they really gonna let we bring awareness to them and we just gotta it's kind of like being at war, honestly. I mean, it's crazy. And I know exactly where you're coming from, Faye. I know exactly.
They definitely are going to do whatever they think it's going to take to shut you up. That's for sure.
That's
well. Do you know some fallen you?
Oh yeah, they do it. Yeah, they do it to my son, and they've done it to me. And my son can just be walking home, minding his own business, not bothering a soul, and the cops will creep up on him and just drive behind him like just to be doing it.
Wow.
And they'll roll the window down and they'll say, "Where are you going? What you doing?" Just being nosy. And
have you thought about talking to the police chief?
Well, yeah, that don't do no good because they just uphold what their officers do, of course.
Right. They're going to back their officers.
How about the mayor?
He's.
We just reached out to the mayor, but we haven't heard nothing back on that yet. But see, an incident happened the other day. It was about 4 days ago. It was on Tuesday. And it was a little bit longer than that now, but it was 4 days ago. My son was walking on campus. He walks through the campus to come home, and the campus police are a part of the state police here in Kentucky. And they literally, what happened was my son was in the crosswalk. He was waiting across the street. He pushed the button to change for the little pedestrian thing that's on me to walk across.
Yeah.
But for some reason it wasn't changing. So he just went ahead and decided to go out of the crosswalk and run across the street real quick. And when he did, he had on flip-flops, and his flip-flop came off of his foot and he tripped and fell. Well, when that happened, one of the EKU police saw him and whipped their car around, turned around, pulled up on him, turned on their blue lights, told him, "Get down on the ground, get down on the ground, put your hands up now," like that. And he's like, "What the heck?" He's like, "What did I do?" And she was being, like all crazy, telling him, "Get your hands
over dramatizing it.
Get your hands out of your pockets." It was crazy. And she even tried to pull her taser on him and tried to detain him, putting him in handcuffs and everything. And for what? What crime was committed? There was no crime committed.
And she went and did, why? I mean, what did she say was her reason? Like, did she say anything?
She said because he jaywalked outside of the crosswalk. I said, okay, that's not a crime. That is a violation. That's not a crime.
To act like that?
Jaywalking is a mere violation, a ticket violation.
Right. And it's a Right. And she dramatized it out and made a big scene for no reason. Wow.
Yeah, she even tried to put him in handcuffs and everything.
So she tried to detain
his
him.
phone out of his
Wow.
pocket. She literally threatened to shoot him because he was trying to get his phone out of his pocket.
She threatened to shoot.
I need to call my mother. My mother is my guardian, and I need to call her.
Right. And
he called me. He called me, and it wasn't until he called me that I didn't get that situation escalated.
Wow.
Why does he have to go the way he goes? Is that the shortcut, or?
Honestly, that's the quickest way to get to any part of town when you're walking is through the campus. Yeah. But he should be able to walk wherever he wants to without harassment. Period. I mean, it's not like he's a bad kid, and it's not like he's out here breaking into cars or selling drugs or packing guns or doing anything foolish.
Yeah.
And then when I was talking to her on the phone, I started stating the laws to her, and what she did to my son was wrong by the ADA, the Constitution, and also the Kentucky state laws, and that pissed her off. And instead of her handing my son back his phone, she threw it at him.
Wow.
See, in Kentucky,
Sorry.
there's no stop and identify law here. If an officer stops you and asks you for your ID, you do not have to give it to them.
No, you don't.
Because there's no stop and identify law.
If they're not detaining
They
you,
don't have to ask for identification.
They say they do.
Not unless the officer has reasonable belief to believe that a crime is being committed or possibly being committed. And she had either one of those factors.
Right. That's crazy.
Oh.
So they're just trying to make it's kind of like they're bullying on your son. They are because they don't like me because I'm not letting them get away with what they've done to my family. Right. And it's so exhausting, like how their mentalities are. Like, why would you pick? Why? These are grown adults that have, and this is a boy that's just trying to live his life and be just a part of society. It's crazy.
Well,
and
like I told them, I said, this causes my son to have more PTSD, more mental issues, because every time you all do this to him, it puts him in a bad mind frame.
Right. And wow. I hate that, because that's my son. That stuff happens to him at the facility he's at when somebody gets upset and they get
it worries me. It worries me because
yes.
Like, they think that they can get away with doing what they do to him, or even possibly shooting him because, I wear a blue suit and a badge and I can.
Right, because they think that they know darn well that he's not doing nothing wrong, but just out of spite, that just because they don't, he tried to pull something out of his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, he tried to pull a gun on us or something. That's crazy, and that's exactly.
He showed his pockets to the woman, to the officer. He says, "Look, ma'am." He says, "Look, my pockets are out. I have no weapons." He says, "I don't carry weapons on me." He says, "I don't even own one for that matter." And she still would listen to him. She still just wanted to shoot him or tase him.
I would put definitely put a complaint in about her.
And what university is this? Is this the University of Kentucky, or
is it a big?
It's City Cops and the Eastern Cops. Yeah, they all work together here. It's a big old buddy system.
Wow, it's like who you know. It's one of those. It's like who you know. That's the only way you can get something done. Wow. If you don't fit in, it's kind of like high school. If you don't fit in, you're not part of the clique. Like, wow. That's
and you don't just get it from cops here. You get it from social workers too. Like right before all this happened, I had social workers stalking my Facebook page.
Oh yeah. Oh look, Facebook. Yes, I had in a group I'm in on Facebook, they had to call 2 of the social workers out that I know are on my case, and I know there's other parents that are in this group that are in the same county that have where my case is, and they decided, and the group admin called these social workers out because I mean, it even says that they work for the Department of Family and Children's Services with Georgia. I mean, why would you do that?
Yep.
Like that is and what like and I don't. And I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. When I seen that, I said, you got to be joking. Like that right there is some low ways of it. Just because you're in that job and just because you want to find out, you're trying to find something. Well, if you got to go to that low of extreme, then there's nothing that's wrong with that family. So just let them be. Leave them alone.
She literally came on my Facebook page and was just talking trash to me. Basically, that's what she was doing. But I ain't the one to talk trash to because I talked it right back. Believe me. And and she says, yeah, I saw you on CPS, the horror story. She says, oh, what a bunch of baloney. She said, you're so full of shit.
That's like I told Bob the other day. I know they're watching, and I just say, hi, welcome to the show. You know, because I mean, we can do what if we want to talk about.
I was coming on the show. I know what you mean. I was coming on the show and saying, hi, stalkers. Hello.
Yeah. I mean,
and they're watching. And I told her, I said, when she was coming on my page talking all kinds of craziness to me, talking, saying really bad stuff to me, I said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, what, you don't have no kids to go kill today?
Right. I bet you she probably hushed then. Because it's sad that they.
She blocked me. She blocked me. And I was like, well, I wasn't going to block you, that's for sure, because I don't run.
Right.
I ain't a scared little puppy. You want to come and talk shit to me, I'm going to talk it right back.
Professional kidnappers. That's what, back to the.
Exactly. Yep. That's about right.
I mean,
government paid kidnappers.
They're just.
And they're proud of it, too. They sported those pink shirts, too.
And, you know, and it's like the more we try to bring awareness to this, the worse, like the more they're trying to push back. And it's, there's parents out there that are not going to sit here and I'll protect any kid, any child, mine, somebody else's, my neighbors, my friends.
Me too. I'm the same way.
This
That's
is
the reason
all
why
of our kids.
Foster kids.
Yeah, this is all of America's kids that are vulnerable, that are in this because they're innocent lives and they depend on us adults. They're our future. They only learn and it's crazy that there's people out there that you got, child molesters out there and stuff. And these people with social services act worse than that.
Oh, well, I mean, the social workers place kids in the homes with child molesters.
I saw that on the news. That's and the child ended up losing their life. I heard there was a case, and I forgot what state it was, but the girl was a teenager and she ended up getting trafficked. Like he was selling her body. That's horrible.
Well, they did it to me, and they did the same thing with my son. Placed him in the home with 3 convicted felons and a sex offender.
Bless your heart.
Did you know that Faye? Now, did you hear about the 24-year-old Air Force airman that was blasted at the door?
And the officers.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, what I'm doing now is rule number 3 when I talk about don't open the door. I use that as my lead-in to scenario because I say this is what can happen to you. Here's a guy who, the sheriff didn't handle it right the way he was doing the investigation. I mean, you don't bang on the door and not say anything. That is something, that's causing all kinds of stress and anger there. You don't know if that guy's been hassled by people in the neighborhood or what. But then he said very, very rudely, it's like, this is a sheriff, you better open it up. And of course, as soon as he opens the door, he had a gun in his hand at his side, but it was not pointing at the sheriff.
Anyway,
this is the sad part. I don't understand policemen. Why do they always have to kill? I don't understand why they can't shoot people in the foot or in the leg or in the arm and just temporarily, go
I
ahead.
have something to say about that. My uncle is a retired cop. And when they take their oath, when they raise their hand and they swear to that oath, their oath is to do no harm first, or if they need to use force, it is supposed to be the less amount of force first.
Right. Instead of using the worst, the harshest first. Yeah.
And no, none of them do that. None of them do that anymore. It's just straight shooting somebody. You know, they have a taser and a gun on their side. They can choose whether or not they can subdue somebody or whether they're going to kill them. And almost every single time they choose to kill.
That's why they can't wear their weapons and those weapons in jails and inside the jails. They have it. Some of them have tasers, but you could just imagine
having a taser.
Right. I mean, there are times that it does get rough in there, you know, but could you imagine if they were able to carry their guns, how much bloodbath there would be? Like, wow. I could imagine. I mean, it's and just because somebody's trigger happy and kids, there's kids. I mean, there's no excuse for these gangsters or these drive-bys, because kids are losing their lives there was 2 down here in Atlanta that lost their life just by a drive-by, just because somebody had a bad juju with someone else. I mean, it's crazy and it's sad, and just the mentality of some people. I don't know. I mean, but when someone takes the oath and their job, like with social services, is families first, protect, keep the families together. What are they doing? They're more worried about breaking them apart
and keeping the family together.
Right.
They put a child that's in the system back into the family home. They lose funding.
Right.
They don't want to lose funding, so that's why they try every way they can to keep that kid in the system as long as they can.
And it's crazy that it takes the right, once you get it across someone's desk or in their, like, their awareness, attention brought to it. There are some out there that are good people, like the senators, but it's just who and where are they, and when are we going to be able to bring it to their, because everybody.
When you do bring it to their attention, though, and trust me and the groups that I have, we have done this. We have went to Frankfurt nonstop, bringing attention to this. But it's always pass the buck and excuses and promises, and nobody ever follows through. And then even if they support things, like laws to be changed in Kentucky, and they submit that, they catch so much flack and so much,
it's like they don't enforce it
from their own political parties do it to them.
Right. And it's like at the end
they just eventually give up on it.
Right. And that's what social services does to the parents. Like, eventually, when they keep just applying pressure and keep pressure, eventually we've lost a few in this that have taken their life because of we create these children. These are our children. These are the ones that the mothers, the fathers, these are not their children. These are our form, our lives, not theirs. So they can go to have their own, go. I'm sure they don't get it. It's greed. It's selfish. It's wrong. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's not.
Some of the things that we're working on trying to get changed in Kentucky is the confidentiality and the anonymous call reporting into
Texas
the hotline, and we're also working to try to get.
That's the biggest thing, is the anonymous thing. That should be everywhere. I think that if they can do this and this and that, I think they should pass that in every state, that you cannot call anonymously. Texas has stepped up and passed that law that you are not allowed to call anonymous in Texas anymore.
Well, I have no problem at first for people calling anonymous, but before they take a complaint, it should be in writing. Their name should be signed to it. The name is kept on file. And if it turns out to be a false complaint, then that name should be turned over for prosecution.
Yeah, regardless, there
But if
needs to
not-
be something to stop people from just being
Right.
able to use.
Because
That's like
you're going to
somebody
get
calling my probate. Yeah.
right.
Because I mean, I've
Because
been through that. Go ahead.
I think most people, if it's a serious child neglect or abuse, they're going to call it. I don't think it's going to make them afraid if they have to give their name. If people are not going to call in for child abuse or neglect,
well, look
they're
at my.
going to call it.
People do it all the time.
Look at my situation. My son, it altered all this mess for nothing, just because of a spiteful aunt that lied to these people, saying that she has not seen or talked to me in 10, 11 years, when that's a complete lie, and that I abandoned my kids, and I never did. So, and she knew she was lying, but just because my mother passed away, she thought, I mean, so it's people like that, I mean, yeah, and look what kind of mess it brought up. Look what kind of, it's a mess, but it's just over childish games of a grown person that's supposed to be protecting my daughter, and even said my daughter's special needs. Like, all of it's a lie. And this has created this big mess. And now here I am. I'm helping bring awareness to other families, because this is my own family member that did this, that has my daughter, this guardian of my daughter, that did this to my son. It's crazy. Why? Like, my son did nothing wrong to you. What did he do? You could have left him where he was. I was there to get him. You could have left him. I'll handle that with the courts when I have to. She should have left him there. She shouldn't have took him out of the house. So I don't get it. And I don't even know what her, and I don't even care to know. My son didn't deserve it, and neither did my family, period, especially when we just lost my mother. But that's where this whole anonymous thing is. Why create a mess for someone and buttons? Why create problems that should not even be, just by calling anonymously and saying that this and this is going on, when you don't know your facts? And you know what I'm saying? That's why the whole anonymous thing is bogus. Like, because it could create a problem that is unnecessary what if the family is not even, but what if it causes them to lose everything they have, just because they have to put this in, just because of those people need to be held accountable for their lies. Well, just like social workers should be accountable for their lies.
And
Misleading.
And in my opinion, too, these cases need to be moved out of civil courts.
Yes.
If you're beating your kids, if you're neglecting your kids, abuse and neglect is a crime. That should be done in criminal court, not civil court.
Yep. That's what I always, and I'm on probation, and it's crazy. And I've never, I don't get it. I don't. If I abuse and neglect my kids, I'd be in jail right now for BOP, and they never, because they'll sell you. My PO tells me straight up, it's civil. That's civil, and my probation, that's criminal. And they've even tried to cohorts with them, to get them to, but I'm in compliance. I'm doing what I need to do in my daily life and taking care of what I need to, and they're trying every which way. I'm going through that right now as we speak, as a matter of fact. But what you said, like what's going on with your son, I'm going through that every which way. Child support, the social.
They want to block his release to her.
Yeah, they're trying to hold it off and do whatever they can.
Well, she's got her son to be adopted. He's supposed to come home, but they're still trying to block it. CPS, who has no say in the matter, is trying to interfere and block the matter.
They're trying to come up with everything they can.
Don't shock me. I'm not shocked.
But they have no. It's because once it, like, in front of the judges, these judges only see what they see on paper. Like whatever they're presented. Well, my whole case, like when it first started, my own lawyer, huh? Yes. Oh my goodness. It's ridiculous. So it's like, and what gets me is, how can their attorney go and type up and do the final order after it's been ordered, and then the judge sign off on it? They could put stuff in that. You know what I mean? Like, I've never understood that.
Because
And that's
the attorney, just like the social workers, just like the judge, just like, you know, all the players in the courtroom, they all get a big piece of that pie when it all
it's
is
a bone. Yep. And it's a bonus because, like, when I got out and I went and to find out what, like, the first real court hearing that I was actually at, I was notified about, the judge pretty much told me to sit down, and because I didn't know what was going on, and I even reached out to local attorneys that were like more criminal, but I knew them because they've helped me in the past, you know. And I'm like, maybe y'all can tell me who I need to talk to, or lead me in what pathway I need to, like, a direction. Just I needed to know which way to go, you know, like who do I need to reach to find out. And I got in trouble for that in court. Why did I contact this attorney? Because I was looking and I didn't know who to talk to. He was referring me to other attorneys that deal with family law. I mean, I was clueless, but I'm getting in trouble for that. Wow. I mean,
did you guys see the video that Deborah Williams shared with us in Michigan? I don't know what it's about.
Hold on.
But she came on just before Faye did at 7:01. She came on the same time as Faye.
Okay, check it out. It was just
did you see it? It's called Debbie Williams.
So he's watched this video of Michigan?
I don't know where she is from. I assume she's from Michigan, but she wanted us to look at a video. How do you copy that, or how do you load it?
I'll send you the link, Bob, right here. Hold on.
Yeah, but how are you able to do it that I can't? I mean, how come I can't copy it?
All you got to do is right click on it. So go to copy. Doing that or no?
Right click. I didn't know. Okay.
Oh yeah, right click and go to copy it, and make sure it copies the whole thing, the whole link.
There's no copy choice here. Let me try it again.
Okay, well, press Control C then. It would just highlight all the words that are in that, and go to press.
Well, I can't highlight. That's what the problem is on my
Okay,
end.
well, let me see if I can send it to you. Hold on. I got you, Bob.
Copy.
I got you. Here you go, Bob.
Control C.
Let's see if this comes up. Oh, that's not it. Hold on, Bob. I'm coming with it.
I can blow it up. I can blow itself up.
I got you, Bob. It's coming right. Hold on. Yeah, I got it right now.
I don't know what it's about, but for all you other listeners out there,
private chat.
We have Faye from Kentucky. I'm from California, and Danielle is from Georgia. And we'd love to help you all. If you have a question or not, don't forget you can text in a question, and we will certainly try to answer it. Or you can wait and do a phone call later on. But we're trying to help out Faye. She's under the weather. She's usually on every night. Go ahead.
If you go to the private chat, you'll see where the link is, and you can just click on it. It'll come up.
You did it. Yeah, I see it.
I just made it a link for you. I just took out. Yeah, it's weird, but did it come up? Faye, are you still with us?
It's a conference. It's a conference.
Okay, I see. Yeah, it's 2020. I see what. Yeah, I see.
Judge and a blonde-headed lady.
No, it's a black lady with silver hair and a black robe.
Oh, okay.
And it's called Family and Children Justice Organization is sponsoring it.
You know, every month, Georgia, actually, they've been having them a lot more often.
It says save the children. It says save the children.
So, because I know Georgia, they have a lot.
There's 5 comments. This video was paid for by Debbie Williams. Well,
so she paid for it to watch for us.
This is what Layla Popeye 8917 says. 3 years ago, this video was paid for by Debbie Williams. Is she the one that sent it in to us?
Yes.
Why would this person 3 years ago say this video was paid by Debbie Williams? Is that the one that sent us in that video then?
Yeah, that's the one that sent it to us. Debbie Williams is.
This Debbie Williams, I am the rightful owner of the video. I am the original owner of the video, Save the Children.
Unless she
I paid for a video to be created. If anyone tampers with the video, I will sue them.
Okay,
which
so she was
which
probably
adult
recording when
children
she was there
protective
at that
service
conference.
unethically stole my grandson. Okay, she had a CPS case
So
too,
she probably talked in front of maybe the House or like the Senate,
or
something,
something like that. It sounds
and
quite
that's what.
interesting.
Yeah, because that's a yeah. She was probably talking on the floor and they only give you like so many minutes to present your thing and really.
I sent you a video once too, Bob, but I don't know if you got it or not.
Yes, I did. It was the one in the white. I saw that. I was really impressed with that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Faye. I really did appreciate that.
You're welcome.
There's so much.
You two girls have been lifesaver for me because I do this, routinely. I have not missed one session. I've always either made up the sessions, but I do it twice a day. And day after day, after week, and month after month, it gets long and hard.
Mhm.
And we all going through issues in our life and stuff. And so I just I want to help out these poor people, but some of these cases have been so awful in here, Faye. You missed some
hard.
really bad ones because Danielle's been with me, and some are really sad.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's nothing that your kids should be taken away. I mean, it's just, and if they have family that they can, I mean, it's like in my situation, none of my family was contacted, but like these other families,
well, they don't
have
understand the
family,
law.
and
Like I want to tell people out there, especially about the safety plan meeting. Anytime a CPS worker takes your child into their custody, they have to within that week meet with you. That's very important.
Yep.
To
Supposed to meet
determine
with you in so
where the
many-
child can stay, whether it's going to be one of
Yeah.
your relatives, and they can't
Yep.
be out of state. You know, this thing
Yes.
about they have to be local. No,
It's a
they cannot
standby
be
guardian, pretty
anywhere
much.
if you want.
Mhm.
If you have an uncle or an aunt that wants to take care of them, what the problem is CPS does want to fly somebody back east to investigate or talk to this person, which is so ridiculously because they get so much money they can afford it.
Let me tell you this, Bob. The other day when I mentioned on the podcast that my son hadn't had his hair cut, well, guess what?
One second, Daniel.
Would rather have their nails ripped off their fingers than do an interstate compact. Because for one, it's time consuming. The paperwork is tedious. Yep. And they're already supposedly bogged down with tons of paperwork as it is. And then also, when they place a child in another state,
they get jurisdiction.
It loses jurisdiction. So they no longer get paid for that child.
That's
so
right.
That's why they don't like to do interstate compacts.
So like in my son's situation, I'm going up against Texas and Georgia. I'm having two jurisdictions because I just recently discovered that, and that's okay. I'm cool. I'm ready, and yeah, and they didn't tell me that from the beginning. Like, and it's so funny, but my son hadn't had his hair cut, and when I was on a visit, I think it was just the other day, I had mentioned it on the podcast, and next thing you know, the next day my son had a haircut. So I know that is that like, and I'm like, it's sad that they have to sit here and because my son, he was looking rough, like he knows he looks good, but come on, like looking like that, I'm like, Alex, I said, what's up, man? I said, Mom, I want a haircut. And I'm like, well, have you told? And that's when and then I said it on the podcast that night, and the next, so they must watch this every day. So hey, at least I'm keeping somebody entertained, right? That's what that's the laugh I have. Like we're here to help other people, other families, not give them information that they just don't have to begin with, and they're just trying to find something. Like it's crazy. It's like high school when you'd be dating a guy or something and another girl it's petty stuff. It's like playing the telephone game. Ugh. But half the time, if they can take their time out of their day to watch this podcast, they can take time out of their day to contact who they need to contact, to keep in contact with these parents that are supposed to be working these case plans to get their children back instead of setting them up for failure.
Oh, they're so overwhelmed and so overworked.
But we can sit here and say hey to them. But we can say hey right now. Hey, I'm not gonna put their names out there, but yeah, they know who they are.
They're watching tonight too.
Right? Like, hi everyone. Hi all the social workers out there. Welcome to the show. Nice Nice to see you. I'm glad that that they are fully aware that there's parents out there that are not giving up and they're not going to bully on us. You know, no. This is great. I mean, there's
Actually, not me.
right. I'm not. I'm one mother that my kids. I've been a single mother, and I asked my family for help. In 2011, I had faced some troubles, and my parent, my mom, and then my nanny, and the other family members that I'm the one that placed my kids where they're at. DFCS was never involved. I mean, and it's been like this since 2011, and then my mother passes away in 2022, and then now DFCS is involved. Like, wait a minute, whoa, where's the red?
They want you vulnerable. You lost your support system.
Right, and
they want people that are vulnerable, people that don't have support systems, single moms, raising children, and that are, up against it with money.
And the thing is, it's with and my aunt is even under oath for the guardianship that she took in 2011 for my daughter, and my daughter's still in her care. But how could she do that to my son? Like, I have this support. I take care of my disabled special needs brother. Right? He's 37 and he's in my care. I'm fully capable of taking care of my son. My aunt is, I don't understand. I mean, that was the whole thing. Keep them out, like, and DFCS has never been involved. And now I see that she's been wanting, apparently, my mother this whole time to turn her back on me and give up on me as a but my mom never did and never could. But my mom wasn't going to tell me these things, like that she was hearing this in one ear, because my girls all day long, I could tell you right now, I've tried to reach out and I'm still trying. I even take parenting classes right now because of child support. I opened up child support on myself in 2017, 18, and people hit hard times, but for all these years, it was never opened up on me, and I did it myself just to show, that I'm like my aunt. And then now my aunt, the same aunt, is now trying to hold me in contempt, but yet here I am mediating with my parent aide it's all voluntary. Now she can say no, which she did. She said she don't want nothing to do with me or none of this, but yet you're coming after me for, I mean, I don't get it. They're supposed, I mean, that's what this whole program was about. But that's fine. I'll still stick. My daughter knows I love her, and I'm still going to fight for her. I will be at my daughter's graduation. I promise you. So, I mean, why? It's these other people. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, just like in my case, I was fit to raise my older child, my one that has the autism and the several other, disabilities that he has, but yet that I wasn't fit to raise my baby. I mean, you're either fit or you're not fit.
Right. That's crazy.
Faye and
Danielle. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, I was thinking somebody else. Faye and Danielle, have you all heard about the YouTube vlogger? I don't know what a vlogger is. That her name was Ruby Franco. Ruby Frankie.
What happened?
And her business partner have been sentenced to prison for their admission of child abuse. They have a $5 million home.
And they were making a blog about and kind of found out they were actually abusing the kids or whatever.
Yes, did you hear about that?
Yes, and they made it's a big thing, and then kind of find out I forgot what what brought this to the attention, but they were making it seem like they were pretty much gaining compensation, like, for their kids, but really behind the scenes they were abusing and neglecting them.
Are you talking? I'm trying to think. Are they the couple, like bisexual couples?
Yes. It's them.
Well,
yes.
I don't know if they're bisexual because the business partner looks like a man. No, it's a girl and a man.
Are you talking about the Hart family?
No, I'm talking about the Ruby Frankie.
The Frankie family.
Ruby Frankie family.
Yeah, but it's kind of.
I haven't heard of that. that one yet.
Really? It's just like the Hart family though. because the Hart family is with the two, the
He was
couple
sent
that's
to 30 years in child
Uh-huh.
abuse.
Yep. And it's
yeah, I don't think I've heard of that one yet.
Yeah, Ruby Frankie.
I don't.
Well, no, wait a
I
minute.
don't watch the news like that, to be honest.
Well,
She
I turn on
launched-
the thing about the latest child because we say we don't need the CPS, but I think we do. But it's here. Let me see if it
So
if it
and
tells
they
us.
said they had 6 kids, and they launched a 8 passengers, which they called them the show 8 Passengers in 2015. Do I know? What'd she say? And she put her family on YouTube and with 6 kids, and she inflicted horrifying child abuse off the screen that led to now she's facing time. So she was leading the life on YouTube as like, oh, these are, but kind of find out she got 4 counts of aggravated child abuse in February. Wow. So, but the two.
I was trying to listen to the
I
video to get the gist of the story because it didn't have it in printing. But what it is that she had 6 children.
And she was just trying to like talk about her husband. Her husband was an engineer, and she was just
this
trying
was
to.
not 2 girls; it was a couple,
and
they had wealth. They had tons of money because they had a huge home. So,
and she
it
was
wasn't
trying
a money
to,
situation. A lot of the child. Well, I think I'm trying to put kind of a thing on there. It seems like the majority of the people that I talk to on here are low income, and they're not abusing their children.
Yeah,
or they're in the system.
They'll go after people with money too if they've got lots of children.
Yes.
Yeah,
because
but
the more
and
children
the young ones,
the more funding they get.
Oh, sure, 6 children times 20,000 be $120,000 a month. So yeah.
It said her behavior became more sinister. She was just trying to. She was putting her show on just pretty much to. I don't even know what the reason why she came up with this show.
She was trying to do like a perfect
a
mom taking care of 6 children.
So mom.
What is that one called? The Cinquetta mom,
really
the
behind
mom
the
that
scenes.
had 10 children or whatever that was.
Yeah,
and she made
the
money off
quintuplets
that.
or whatever. Yeah, so that's what this was a popular momfluencer, and that's what she was. She was like a big role, like an influencer for other moms out there. To not, it's okay, but kind of find out off the screen, she was actually abusing and neglecting her kids, starving them, beating them.
Well, look what happened with that one family, you guys. I can't think of their name right off the bat, but they had like 19 kids, and there was molestation going on inside the family.
Yeah. You're talking about the Christian family, or the one that oh gosh, what was their name?
Oh, that's right.
I know,
the one that falls from grace. You're right.
Yes, I know. And then the kids, one of the kids, the older kids that moved out, started bringing it to, started bringing attention to it and voicing, because they got out of the home. So, and I forgot the name of. And I don't know, did those parents ever get in trouble, or?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
They did, but I can't remember all the details of everything.
Well, we could have it worse. There's also the Taliban are doing a crackdown on abuse in schools, harming girls and boys.
The Duggar family. Is that the one we're talking about? The Duggar family?
Yeah, the Duggar family. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, look, that the ones that I don't understand is the ones where they can have kids and then they can marry multiple wives, and I'm bigamy, I think that's what it's called.
Well, there's weird stories. Yeah, you're right about that. Debbie Williams, if you still hear me, we appreciate the video. Do you have a CPS question? And we assume you're from Michigan, Debbie Williams, if you're listening.
I mean, like when you put yourself on on social media, or the this camera, I mean, everybody can see it. Like everybody can, and everybody's got their opinion, but don't, I mean, eventually I don't get it. Like, I mean, if you want people to know your life, let them know the truth, I mean, if you're going to blast it out there, don't try to hide behind a screen, because eventually the truth, I mean, it's, I mean, because it, only time will tell. Like, what do they say? This too shall pass, or it'll all come out in the wash, like, don't, and because that right there is more, I mean, that's your future too, and when eventually you'll get out of the prison one day, like that Ruby Frankie mom, and she'll have to face the reality, and that's really when it's gonna hit her. That, I mean, but I heard right now that Ruby Frankie. I heard that Ruby Frankie
I don't think she'll make it out of prisons. Too many prisoners do not like child abusers.
Right, and the ones, I don't know if it's the couple that's two females. One of those that's in prison now, both of them, they are getting the worst. I mean, you have to worry about what they do to your food. They steal your stuff. I mean, trust me, like, that's literally where you have to sleep. You'll never get rest, and not even in protective custody. Like, it's crazy. I mean, and you're behind those walls, so that's all I mean, it's all. And why would you want to go? Like, don't even get yourself in that situation. If you don't, I'm sure there's a family member or a friend that would love to take care of your kids if you can't do it. Don't do it I mean, there's people out there, trust me, that would love to.
Yeah, Nicole Miles. Nicole, I'd love you to call in, but there's only 3 minutes left of my podcast. Can you call tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Nicole Miles? Because I was hoping if you called in earlier, there would be time. But right now we're at the 57-minute mark. I have to end my show in 3 minutes, Nicole. I know you've been in before. I think you've called before too. Do you remember Nicole at all? Do you remember her?
Yeah, she was on a couple of days ago or last week.
Briefly, I remember briefly.
Yeah, I think it was.
Do you know what her case was about?
I don't think she got to talk about it much. I think it was at the end of the show, and we told her to call.
I wish that Ron Weber would call it again.
Ron, yeah. He's tried to several times, but I don't know why he's only getting to them at the end of the show.
I just don't know why people come on at the last minute. It's like we have nobody for the first 50 minutes.
30, yeah. It's always about 10:45 my time, Eastern time, and like when they start coming in, I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to look at that, because I've noticed, Bob, when it's got on the live, like when it's saying upcoming, the time is always saying like 10:30 or something. Like, when somebody clicks on YouTube.
I've noticed that too. Like,
yes,
you get a notification 10 or 15 minutes after it's already started.
Yes. So it's the time.
How does the notification work? How does that work?
Because they got it set up like that.
Like, when you're live.
Oh, okay. But why is there a delay in it?
Because it's somebody. Maybe we could talk to Grace about that. Grace might know that, because that's them.
I would think people would know me by now that I'm on at 10 in the morning and 7 o'clock at night.
But they come in when they get the notifications, like, because if it don't notify them, because even in my case, like when I get on, actually, like it says upcoming, it'll say starting at 10:30, and I'm like, no, it's supposed to be 10. So maybe the timing's wrong, like the way that we have it set up. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we could talk to Grace and see if they can look into that and get it. Because they know YouTube won't notify anyone till the 10:30 part because I even get when we're on the show right now, I don't get the notification till 30 minutes into the show, which that's so, and I can I'll show you off.
Well, somehow it's not working very well in the morning.
So, and it's probably because it's the noticing, like the notifications that people get. I'll show you when we get off. Okay,
well, I'm going to have to end. I don't like the ending because you two are very beautiful mothers, and I want to wish you all a very happy Mother's Day. You're special moms, and you have special children. I know that you both have boys, and you know,
Yeah.
and they're special needs, and it takes a special kind of person to handle special needs children. You
Oh,
guys
man.
are beautiful people.
My
That so I want to
son.
wish you a happy Mother's Day, Nicole. I hope you call in tomorrow or tomorrow night, or you can contact Grace at Vincent Davis Vincent Davis .com. Yeah. That's Grace
You got
at
it, Bob.
vincentwdavis.com.
Mhm.
And you can be on a guest on my show, Nicole. And Debbie, I don't know if this is a one-time shot here or not. We got your video. I'm going to listen to it afterwards. I'm glad to meet you. And you're welcome to come on the show again. Again, do not forget to keep fighting for your kids. They love you. You love your children. And you stick with it to the brutal end, you'll get your child back.
Right.
All right?
Keep
God bless you all. Good night.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
And happy